Welcome to the Horror Hangout podcast, where two bearded film fans watch the best and worst horror movies of all time. My name is Luke Kondo of Kate, and I'm joined by my regular co-host, Mr.
Ben Arrington.
And also our pretty damn regular co-host, Mr.
Andy Conduit Turner. Hello, guys.
How is it going?
Very glad he is then.
Yeah,
How
he
are
is. Good. Won a nice new shirt for the day, look, you see? I'm on brand.
Look at that. Lovely.
Check me out.
There's a Horror Hangout t-shirt. In what colour green would you say it was, Andy?
I'd go for is this an ectoplasm green? That's a horror green,
Yeah.
right?
I was going to say toxic green, but yeah, ectoplasm works quite well. Ben, what are you going for?
Ectoplasm. How's the fit?
It's a good fit. It's comfortable. Sometimes you get a logo t-shirt and it'll you get warm where it is. You get a bit clammy on the logo.
Yeah.
None of that business.
Yeah.
Was out in the rain earlier on. It kept me warm and dry.
Yeah.
No, I think we should put this on the product description. So if anybody
See this cup of tea? It made this.
We should work out where the O's are and try and get them over the nipples. So if someone did want nippleless options, that would be available. Yeah.
Nippleless option. Well, they're a bit too close together for nipples, but maybe we'll just spread out the.
What about your nipples, mate?
If you've had some botched surgery that maybe you can have your nipples here and here.
Where can we get these t-shirts, Luke? If you go to the Hawk and Cleaver website.
Yeah, hawkandcleaver.com, and then there's the link to the shop or the store. T-shirts are there for this podcast and for our other podcasts. I think we're going to do some white t-shirts at some point as well. I'll put those up soon. But yeah, apparently they're great. I've not tried one yet. But
yeah, it'd be good if we both get one as well, so we can wear it almost as like the uniform. Would that be lame?
No.
If lame means the coolest.
Yeah, exactly.
And it does.
If it means absolutely rad AF, then...
Rad AF, man.
So,
yeah.
Are we... in case people don't know, so the news, I guess we need to talk about is we've been away for 2 weeks because Ben's had a nightmare with his laptop. What happened, Ben?
It just gave up. It just officially died. And... sometimes when my laptops give up, you're like, there's probably a few things I can do to bring it back to life. So far, none of it's worked. So I've been a bit screwed.
Yeah.
So, in terms of options, I borrowed a Mac, like a laptop from a friend, but I think it was made in 1984. So, it was not compatible with Skype. So currently, I'm Skyping via phone. So if I sound a bit tinny,
was this like a white MacBook or something, or?
No, it's not, but it's old. So hopefully I'm going to get this sorted in the next few weeks. So this might have to be a temporary fix where I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
I'm liking it. I'm chilling on the sofa right now.
You look very casual.
I feel like we're on a date, like a Skype date.
Oh yes, you're in the garage. You're in the garage. Leave me alone. And I'm lying on my sofa with no trousers on. No, I've got trousers on.
But no pants.
Honest.
And it sticks out. Look at
that.
Swinging his camera around.
Yeah, I could do whatever I want, right? I could do a podcast on the toilet. I could go out in the garden and do it. I could drive and do it. That's dangerous.
In many ways, you've got a freedom that Luke and I can possibly never understand.
Exactly. Yeah. There we go. I am kind of using my hand as like a makeshift. Like I'm on like the Infinity Gauntlet at the moment, just like yeah. So it's kind of comfortable, but as long as I sound relatively all right, then we can deal with this for now. I don't want to make it a constant thing. I don't want to get too comfortable and always do the podcast from
the sofa, from the 90-degree angle. Yeah, I know what you mean.
90-degree angle. Yeah. Am I on an angle?
Well. I'm
me personally. So
yeah.
I thought you meant the screen.
No,
for a second. This is the only thing. Like I'm going to get notifications and stuff. It's annoying.
You'll be right.
I'll be back. Yeah, I'll be back in the game soon.
Yeah. So, have we got any other news you want to talk about? T-shirts, UUB 90 degrees. What else?
T-shirts and me being 90 degrees, I haven't really had it. I haven't even had a chance to get the whole horror news stuff together.
Andy's 90 degrees
We've had a
temperature
couple
wise.
of new trailers. Have we had a couple of new trailers?
A couple of things are out as well, right? Isn't Ma out now? I haven't seen it yet.
I think Mom might be out. Brightburn's out soon. What else? Child's Play's out this month. June. Now we're in June. It's going to be a pretty good month. So we might do Brightburn next. I think we discussed.
Yeah.
Because letting down the team again. I'm so sorry. I'm on holiday next week. I mean, you guys can go ahead and do an episode if you fancy it, but I'm not here. So then, by the time I get back, we might be getting for Brightburn if anyone fancies that.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds good, man.
Which I wasn't too sure about until I watched the second trailer. And I wouldn't always do 2 trailers. I watched the second trailer. It looked a lot better than the first trailer. The first trailer looked just a bit naff.
I don't remember the first trailer. I feel like the second trailer gave away a lot, though. And I try not to watch trailers.
Yeah, but I think I kind of needed that because the first trailer, just on concept alone, I wasn't fully sold. But I think the second trailer shows a lot more of what the horror elements are going to be and what kind of vibe it's going to go for. And yeah, Evil Superman looks pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, no news then. I guess no. I don't know. I've not. What about Stuffs in the Gusts? Have you watched anything? I feel like it's been so long. I'm out of rhythm.
Yeah,
I'm out of rhythm. I don't know what's going on. How does the concept of the show even work anymore? I don't know. What are we talking about? Horror films? Just yeah.
Well, just random stuff. I mean, have you seen anything? What have you been up to? Have you eaten anything?
First, I've eaten a few things. I had a lovely burger today. That was good.
Yeah.
I've had a few cinema trips, and I'm not going to discuss anything in great detail, but I've seen Rocket Man.
Okay.
Don't know why when I did that. That was awesome. Loved that. Not even really a big fan of Elton John, but it was superb.
But you got a good rocket.
He had a good rocket, yeah. We had a huge rocket. John Wick 3, have you guys seen that?
No, not yet. No.
No, I'm behind. I haven't seen the first 2, which to my shame.
That's quite far behind. Yeah.
Yeah, long way.
You're quite far behind. That was awesome. It was almost like a bit like a kung fu film with guns, but it had a lot more elements of being like a classic kung fu film. Detective Pikachu.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I made it to that as well. Yeah.
It's all right.
It's a kids' film, but
kids' film. Yeah.
But it's good.
Kids' film. And then I saw Aladdin as well, which I think I went to the cinema 4 times in like 8 days. That's overkill, right?
Yeah, it's too much. I mean, are you going? Why are you going? Have you got one of them cars that lets you go for free?
No. Lets you go for free. You still got to pay for it. I think it just happened that various like my dad and my
Did
sister,
you get trapped inside? Is that what happened?
I got trapped inside, and I said "Stop showing the same film in the screen. Mix it up a bit."
Yeah.
And then to get in the monkey mood, I know we just to get in the horror monkey mood. I watched Shakma, which I'd never really heard of before, but when I put it out on Twitter that we were looking for. When we were discussing Congo, whether it was a monkey horror film or not, somebody on Twitter said, "Watch Shakma," and I think we said, "Well, we're going to watch Monkey Shines," and they went, "What about Shakma?" So I was like, "What's going on with this Shakma? I got to check it out." And it was pretty, it was insane, but not necessarily in a good way. It was like a killer baboon stalks medical students while they're playing like a live action role play game in a hospital.
Yeah.
It's so long. It's like an hour and 40 minutes, but the baboon starts killing people at about 20 minutes in. Like, it's basically 90 minutes of a baboon trying to get into various doors while people are hid on the other side of them going, "There's a baboon out there trying to get in." It was mauling people, but like everything happened off screen. Performances were hammy as hell. It was just a weird film. I mean, I'd recommend it. It's definitely one of those films you can watch. It's a film you can watch and kind of laugh at and enjoy in that way. Like, it would have been a great film to watch with other people. But because I watched it on my own, it took me 5 times to get through it. One time, I watched just 10 minutes of it and said, "That's enough of that."
No more Shakma.
Dedication.
At first, I was ready to dismiss it because I didn't see that Shaquille O'Neal had starred in it, and I thought if you're going to combine it, that would have been fantastic. But based on your description, Ben, I might give it a go now.
Shackman with Shaquille O'Neal versus a baboon. And how these films about animal attacks and that, they make you look really scared of whatever animal it is. You kind of come away from it thinking, oh God, I never want to go in the sea again because of a shark, or I never want to do this. Dogs are scary. At the end of this, I was just like, baboons are amazing. they're so weird.
They'll maul you like that.
It was big and fluffy and running about, and
they're big bare red bums, right? Like big asses.
This is a weird one because you didn't really see Shackman's bum. I don't know whether
it's pretty too comedic. They couldn't put it. Yeah, they couldn't show it. Yeah.
They purposely kept it off screen, but there was no bright red bum action. So you'll be disappointed, I'm afraid. No, it's not one for you.
Yeah. What about you, Andy?
No, that's it.
Well, I was working away the last week, so I spent a long time on planes watching endless films back to back.
Yeah.
There wasn't much horror stuff on the plane. So Bumblebee, which is not horror at all. The opposite of horror, and that was a Transformers film that wasn't entirely awful, which was good. I watched Widows, which is, I guess, more like an action crime thriller. That was very good. But yeah, no horror as such for the last week or so, apart from the film in question. Just been playing a little bit more Mortal Kombat as well.
Nice. Mortal Kombat's got some horror vibes going on. Skeletons and guts and stuff.
Yeah, smashing them all out.
Skeletons. I played Mortal Kombat very briefly at a friend's house, but it was pretty good. I've never been able to do a fatality. I don't think I've ever done a fatality in my life.
I think I've done one by accident.
They're not as hard as they used to be.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not. They're not as tough as they used to be in the
because
the
combos used to be like full 16 key combinations. Like they used to be super long. And the worst one you can't do, but on D-pads this was where like the down right arrow, or do you know what I mean? Like rather than just straight down.
Getting a diagonal.
Yeah, and you go down, diagonal right, and then up, and you sort of have to I don't know, smooth your finger across the controller. It's difficult, man. Super difficult. I find it really difficult to say.
What are you doing? I'm trying to smooth my finger across.
I'm just trying to do a combo. It's a lot easier now. And there's so much that Auto does. Welcome to Video Game Chat, where three folks talk about the mechanics of video games. But they've eased up a little bit now, and there's actually tutorials that go through your frame data, and it'll show you with a little countdown how fast you need to press the next button to help you get your timings down. And then I went through all this training and still get shit on by 8-year-olds on the internet, but that's fine. Yeah. I had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I played it with my friend, and he pulls the game to do a fatality on me.
Oh, look at the move.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the move. Well, I sit there just like that, looking at him and then he just does it. But he's really satisfied with himself. Yes, go, have it.
Yeah. I saw Climax, the Gaspar Noé film. Have you seen? Do you know much about Climax?
Nothing.
Okay, so
the three Gaspar Noé films, but not that one.
So I've not seen any Gaspar. Is it Noé or Noé? Whatever.
I always Noé, but no. I'm not 100%.
Let's go with that.
I've seen is it Into the Void? And the one where someone gets raped in an underpass.
Yeah.
Great family film, that one.
So you understand the sort of it's intense craziness. That's kind of his thing, I think. But this is there's a whole dance troupe in France in the 90s or something like that, and they've been practicing the dancing in a big old.
I'm immediately sold.
Old school, and there's a lot of dancing in this film, but it's quite good. It's made me appreciate the dance maneuvers a little bit more. But they've done loads of rehearsing. There's about 20 or 30 kids, 18-year-olds or so, and then they decide to have a big party afterwards after the last rehearsal. Someone though spikes the punch bowl with acid, so throughout the film, it takes place over the night as they're getting increasingly sort of high, and some of them are really horny, some of them are incestual. Some of them are like just like straight up psychopaths, but they're all dancing all the time, constantly as well. So it becomes like it's really, and the music gets kind of slightly weird, slightly off. Like the camera starts like going. There's one bit where like halfway through, the camera's just upside down for about 20 minutes, and it's just like really makes you feel like you're like descending into hell with these characters.
Were you checking your TV or anything when it was upside down? Like,
I just did you. I just sort of rolled it, like changed my angle. It's nice to do going to follow the camera.
Please tell me you on the sofa went upside down just to.
No, I used to do that. I used to watch TV like that. Did you when you were a kid?
Yeah. It looked weird. People's faces upside down look weird.
Yeah. Exactly. So this film, like, it's really intense. It's really great actually. If you like to be sort of horrified, like it's not funny. It's not like a nice film to watch in any way. But it's a cross between Dance Inferno and Dante's Inferno. It's that sort of it's walking that fine line. Oh. Yeah, and like by the end of it, it's like
you're going to be on the box of that DVD, mate. This has been put out there in the public domain. They're going to listen to that, and you're going to be there.
Yeah,
that's genius, Luke. If you just came up with that,
I've been practicing it. I was preparing for that today. So it's like by the end though, it's like full on, like everyone's naked. It's like just like dim lights, and they're like writhing across the floor upside down, and someone's dead. Loads of crazy stuff has happened. Someone's on fire. It's like I'd say it's a good one to watch if you like that kind of thing, or if you like dance moves. If you like Step Up, and you're like, I want more of this. You like this?
I want more of this, but incestuous. Is that quite an old? Is it quite an old film?
Came out this year, or came out.
Oh.
I saw people talking about it last year, but maybe that was the festival circuit. But it's out this year.
Oh,
yeah, it's good.
Interesting. I'll have to give that a look.
I think you'll like it. I also watched because Robert Pattinson is now Mr. Batman. The Batman. I've watched Good Time on Netflix, which is one that people say, oh, if you think Robert Pattinson's Mr. Twilight Man, then you should watch Good Time. And I did watch Good Time. And it's great. So the idea is Robert Pattinson is this guy who they rob a bank, him and his mentally handicapped brother, but it all goes awry. There's a dye pack involved, Ben. I think you might like it. And his mentally handicapped brother ends up going to prison, and he needs the bail bond, like $10,000 or whatever. So Robert Pattinson has one night to get $10,000 to get his brother out of prison, because he's really worried that he's going to get murdered in his prison because he's mentally handicapped, he's going to get bullied and whatever, bullied to death. So anyway, this night, Robert Pattinson, he's desperate to get this money. Things just get, like, he has tons of bad luck. Like, things get worse and worse. There's drugs involved. There's acid again. I had an acid double bill.
Oh wow!
Someone's dancing. There's Robert Pattinson is fantastic in this film. Like, he's so good, and the soundtrack in this film is incredible as well. I've been listening to it non-stop since.
I'm gonna have to check that out. How are you feeling about the? Sorry, Ben. Go.
What's the soundtrack like? Is it like synthy?
Yeah, super synthy. I would say like a more hardcore version of the Drive soundtrack, like a more sinister version of the Drive soundtrack. It's not as dreamy. And also, Iggy Pop starts singing at one bit in the film. That was quite good.
What, he's in the film, or?
No, his voice is. Like,
his voice is
singing.
In the film.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, because I've seen a few I've never seen Robert Pattinson in Twilight, and I've never seen him in. Apparently, he's in Harry Potter. Is that true?
Yeah,
he's plays in fourth one, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. I've never seen him in either of those things, and everything I've sort of seen him in, I've always kind of been impressed. Like The Rover, I thought he was pretty good in.
Yeah.
What's the film where he's in like a limo?
Cosmopolis. Yeah, David Cronenberg.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that, and as far as I remember, that was good. And I saw High Life recently as well, like a science fiction, weird.
It's great. I mean, he's. I reckon he's got the moodiness to play Bruce Wayne and Batman almost perfectly. Yeah. Like, he'll be fantastic.
I think he'll be great. A Batman Year One sort of scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that works, right?
Yeah, I'd say so. I think he's sort of like the right build for that, because when you look at Batman in Year One, he's kind of like a bit gangly. He's a bit gangly, a bit long.
But these are superhero movies. Like Chris Pratt was quite fat before he did Star-Lord.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah,
like people, you can't look at a guy's build and think he's not the right shape.
Oh no, I mean I was saying a gangly build would be good for a.
Oh right, okay, yeah. Don't put any weight on.
I didn't mean to do gang. Yeah, because Batman in Year One is quite. Well, I guess that's just the artwork, but he's quite long and odd.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to get a different take on Batman, who isn't like an absolute barrel-chested hunk.
I think if you think back to you go back to it though, and I know there's a lot of complaints, and I think it's purely based on people who think, oh, that's the Twilight guy. But you're an actor that pulls in big numbers, that's very famous. And you've managed to be professional enough to run. How many films are in the Twilight series? You've got through, and people still want to work. You have to do 4 or 5 movies.
Yeah.
So you must turn up on the day and do your work, right? And then by all accounts, these other films that people are less familiar with, he does show the type of range that people are going to be interested in for that type of role. Yeah, pretty sure he'll do a good job.
Seems like the kind of actor who's been quite picky with the roles he chooses as well. Not like he hasn't just. He's not appeared in any other big budget blockbusters, really, is he? Or any other random. He seems to work on quite good, like quite critically well received films.
Yeah.
So he's obviously picking and choosing the roles based on that, rather than just doing any old shit.
Any old shite, yeah.
Yeah, looking forward to it, seeing how it comes out. But we got a while to wait yet, right?
Yeah, exactly,
surely we'll get another Joker though, right? Surely.
What do you mean? Well, another Joker on top of Joaquin Phoenix?
Yeah, I do think that. On top of Joaquin, on top of... I wonder if they're going to... Like, how would they even do that? Like, I wouldn't even begin to think whether we're going to get, like, another... a single villain, or we're going to get, like, a few villains. That could be interesting.
Yeah, maybe they'll do something different, because they've had a couple of new ones that they've brought forward in the comics a bit more over the last few years. Maybe they'll do something they haven't done on film before, but it's hard to know what direction they're going to take it. Are they going to do a Nolan thing where they try and, land it in a type of reality? Where you have like your Scarecrows and your Jokers who are just, kind of madmen that's only sort of stretched a little bit further? Or do they do something they haven't done before, like, do you do a Clayface or something? I saw someone on Twitter had put out that they had some Dreamcasting. I think they had Mads Mikkelsen could do a good Mr. Freeze. I could get on board with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you guys feel. Would you like to see the Court of Owls?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Get on board with that.
Could be a good option.
Maybe they will go that route.
Well,
so they might try and do the whole Snyder, Greg Capullo, New 52 style run, and do some of those stories. There's I bet they're trying to do what Marvel have done with Spider-Man, is start him off young and have
someone grow through it. Get someone locked in for several years.
Yeah. Okay, but other than that, I watched Monkey Shines.
Yeah. Seamless segue. We've done it.
Yeah. Okay, so Monkey Shines. We all watched the film.
We did. I have the synopsis because I know Ben is without his normal technology. If you want me to read it, Luke.
Yes, please.
Okay, so Monkey Shines is a 1988 horror movie, well, a drama horror sci-fi movie, in which a quadriplegic man has a trained monkey help him with his paralysis until the little monkey begins to develop feelings and rage against its new master. Directed by George A. Romero of many zombie movies fame, and starring Jason Beghe as Allan Mann.
Beghe 18. Sorry.
Yeah, Beghe 18. John Pankow as Jeffrey Fisher, Kate McNeil as Melanie Parker, and most importantly, Boo as Ella. I imagine this is the real star of the show, right? Yeah.
So 53% of Rotten Tomatoes. It's not like a big loved film. IMDb 6.2 out of the whole 10. So not even hitting the average 7.5 on IMDb. I mean, I've never seen this film before. Have you?
I'd seen it many years ago.
Really?
Yeah. I really thought that there was a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episode based around this story, and I couldn't find it anywhere. So I'm pretty sure that's the Mandela effect proven, and we are actually an alternative dimension.
I know there's a Simpsons one where he gets a helper monkey, but I'm not sure it's a horror one. I think he just gets a helper monkey, then it gets really fat and lazy, like Homer does. But I don't. It's not a horror one. I don't think.
Okay. Yeah. I also the image, the poster of this is the monkey toy with the symbols. I recognise that from loads of things as well, but
I think that's been done in Toy Story. I think we've seen it, like a monkey like that sort of attack somebody. Yeah, well, the monkey with the crazy freaky eyes. Yeah, because that visual is something that I've seen in plenty of places, but I've never really. I don't know if I knew it was from this film. I definitely didn't. I'd heard of the film Monkey Shines, but I didn't really think it was a horror film. In a way, it's a weird one, isn't it? It's a very strange film.
Yeah.
In terms of concept, because when you try and think of the concept and the fact that it's about a monkey helping a paraplegic.
Yeah,
quadriplegic, because he's only his neck and head can move.
Yeah.
You kind of think that maybe the monkey's gonna like kill people, or whatever, but it doesn't really pan out in the way you expect, does it?
Well, there's a whole the Shining element that's in there as well that I didn't know was in there.
Yeah, and some fangs.
Oh yeah.
Because of the brain juice, I imagine.
Yeah.
I mean,
George A.
Go on.
How many films did George A. Romero do that weren't zombie?
Well, The Crazies, which is not really zombies. The Dark Half, which I think came out after this.
Okay.
I don't know what else.
But you're right, a lot of his...
Martin, I don't know when that came out in his cinematography.
You're doing a bit zombie... What year did this come out?
88.
Yeah, so maybe like a late 80s sort of non-zombie thing. He's like, I've had enough of this.
Yeah.
Dawn and a day and a something and a whatever.
Yeah,
so apparently get a bloody monkey in there.
Apparently this was his first big studio movie, and he didn't ever do a studio movie again after this because it said because they changed the ending, which led to commercial failure or something like that. But I mean, I don't know what they could have done with the ending. I mean, it's not... Go on, Andy.
So we'll come to the ending a bit later, I'm sure, but the ending was wild. I'm not sure that particular bit towards the end where we have one little sting.
Yeah,
it took me by surprise this time as well, even though I've seen it before. It was mad.
Yeah, there's a nice little jump scare at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does film start? This was 2 weeks ago when I watched this.
Yeah, same. I've got my notes, not all of which now make sense. So the beginning, I wrote here, great score, which I believe is probably because it had some excellent 80s guitar.
Yeah.
That they probably started with, and then it doesn't go straight into like an 80s, like a very 80s like sex scene with them in bed together, and then Alan is with his girlfriend. I want to say Lisa, and then he goes, right, you stay in bed, babe. I'm just going out for some exercise. And there's an orgy of evidence that he is a very fit and active man. He's like doing his naked stretches on the floor.
Yeah,
and he's carrying his naked stretches, like literally doing the splits on the floor and twisting your body all the way around like an owl's head. And
that made my legs hurt just looking at that.
Yeah.
I was like, "I'll give it a rest." Then he puts a load of old bricks in a backpack.
Yeah. And he's running along like down the equivalent of what is like Ramsey Street, like a nice friendly neighbourhood. He's high-fiving all the cyclists as they're going past. And then
you go, got your bricks in your bag? Yeah, got my bricks in your bag.
And then disaster strikes, and he is hit in a residential area by a car so hard that it shatters the bricks. But that's not all that it shatters.
Yeah.
It shatters his soul.
Yeah.
He can't do split anymore.
Yeah. So he's on the operating theatre table. I remember seeing a young Stanley Tucci. Was in there playing a sort of maverick surgeon.
He comes in and he's he can save this man, but his spinal column has been severely damaged, and it's only by this miracle surgeon that he isn't outright killed, right?
Yeah. This man's done the business. He stays in hospital for so long that he grows a fake beard, right?
Yeah, he grows a fake beard, but also he grows like a depression beard. But also, while he's in the hospital, like obviously people are visiting him and everything, and they've brought him some stuff from home. Bearing in mind, they know he's been paralysed. Why have they brought in loads of photos of him like winning races and stuff?
Yeah.
That are all around his hospital room. It's like, oh, remember that time you won that marathon?
Yeah.
You had to run to do that.
Also, they have like when they bring him home, they have a big surprise party, as if it's like a well done party. Nice one.
Yeah.
You really nailed that disability.
My note here is that Mother entirely fails to read the room because Alan comes in and she's like, surprise, and he looks really sort of shocked and disappointed, and then she does like a big speech about how it's great to have him home and how he's the champion and things like that, and he looks miserable. I'm like, oh, Mom, stop.
You've got the best legs I've ever seen. Great legs.
Yeah.
I have more to you. With
but
legs.
He's not happy, and Lisa didn't visit him. Linda, not Lisa. Apologies, it's in my notes here. Linda, his girlfriend, who he was in bed with at the start, hasn't visited him at the hospital because reasons. Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't come to visit you. But what is very quickly revealed, even at this party scene, is that she's been knocking off the maverick surgeon this whole time.
How did that happen though? Because if she didn't go to visit him, how has she even met this? He's gone round there.
Well, actually, wait. So I think he meets her. Oh no, I seem to remember he like looks at her longingly, like lingers.
Oh, he does when he pops into the hospital. Like, and then she comes to visit him, but she comes to like pick him up or something when he's going.
Yeah,
and they sort of have a quick.
That's
look.
Weird. Like, if you're a maverick surgeon, just look for your potential sexual partners elsewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I've just saved this guy's life, and his life pretty much. I know he's alive, but his life is pretty much ruined. I'm gonna shag his girlfriend as well.
Yeah, immediately. Because like I know you've been in hospital for probably a little while after devastating spine surgery, but not
long enough to grow a beard.
Long, surely.
Yeah.
Long enough to grow a glue-on beard.
Yeah. Very true.
At the same time as Alan comes home to get used to his new found legs and arms and that. So his friend, we're introduced to a guy called Jeffrey Fisher, who's a scientist who works with monkeys, but doesn't just work with monkeys. He's carving off bits of brain because, of course, we can't have a Romero film without brain.
Yeah,
and it's like slicing off chunks of brain and he's injecting it into monkeys' spines.
And also, it's glossed over very quickly that his friend doesn't sleep. Because, like he says when he comes to see him at the party, oh yeah, you spend this percentage of your life sleeping. I haven't slept for 3 months because of these injections I've been having. It's like, why didn't you mention that?
Yeah, it doesn't look healthy at all.
But anyway, that isn't important. I don't need to sleep anymore, which means I have loads of time to do brilliant science.
The bags under his eyes are like bloody bags for life. Jesus.
He has got bags for life. But he doesn't want to. He didn't want to stay in bed at all. He has like a patronising name for his friend. He calls him like Ace or something along those lines. It's hard to read this character because he's got lots of traits that would make him kind of an arsehole, right? But he is. He means also a good friend.
Yeah. Like he sticks up for him. I think when he sees that Stanley Tucci is Tucciing his ex-girlfriend, like he barks him out of the room or something, or he does something.
He does bark him out like those baboons.
Yeah.
Get out of it.
So
he's doing his experiments and he's got this thing that's going to enhance the intelligence of these monkeys. Now that is nothing to do with Alan at this stage. That's just the experiment that he's doing. And he's experimenting on one monkey called Ella, who he's injecting with brain juice to give her super intelligence. And for all intents and purposes, it's going very well.
Yeah. So what happened? So we got Alan's living at home with a nurse. I can't remember her name now.
All I remember is what she is described as by Alan.
Does he call her a CUNT?
He does. He calls her a clinical one. Yeah.
Right.
He drops that C-bomb right there.
So she's got like a pet budgie. I think, would you be allowed to have a budgie? Like if you're a nurse, like looking after some quadriplegic.
If you're living nurse,
have a
I guess.
budgie.
I don't know.
But if you're a living nurse, surely the person who's employing you and is living, you could probably say, "Sorry, mate, no budgies in the house that
Sorry,
are gonna."
Mate, no budgies, please.
Budgies that later are going to try and kill me. Spoilers.
Yeah. Poke lady eyes out.
Yeah. But I guess the next catalyst is that also at this point Alan's mom is staying with him and she's quite overbearing, right? So
overbearing, protective.
And she treats him like a kid and makes him sit and watch home videos until he's literally at the point of ending it all, right? Because that's what he tries to do. So he's at home. His mum has been making him watch home videos of him as a kid, again running around. Loads of videos of him running about and not being
doing cartwheels on a trampoline,
backflips,
not being irreversibly paralyzed,
touching his toes,
and talking about that's that girl that you used to really like. You remember when you had like relationships as well, and you were capable, and you were very much defined by your physical presence.
By your
shins. Is he officially split up with Linda at this point?
I think they have.
I think she's just ghosted him.
I think she's I can't hack it.
Yeah.
See ya.
That's proper out of order, that, isn't it?
Yeah. So she has proper done the dirty on him. She hasn't said that she's sleeping with Maverick Doctor, but she's off. And Alan, depressed by watching films with his mother, tries to end it all. And I don't remember how he tries to do it now. Does he try and hang himself?
I think he does. I think he reverses. What does he do?
I think he reverses into something and then wraps him around his neck, and then kind of just slumps out of his chair, just like
But luckily, Jeffrey comes around just in time, and saves him, and thinks to himself, right, I've got to do something about this. And the solution to that is he goes round to see another character who is training monkeys. Her name is
Melanie Parker.
Melanie Parker, that's it. So he goes off around to see Melanie Parker, who is
Spider-Woman.
Spider-Woman, who trains
monkeys.
Yes, spider monkeys to help people with disabilities, and this is a real thing, right? So this is something that happens in real life. Melanie Parker might not be real, but training of monkeys to help disabled people is a thing that really happens in the US in particular, right?
All the time, I think. Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. So what are they doing? Like helping them ring phone people. They're good at helping people. Phone people. Get them a drink. That's good.
They can get them a drink. You can get all sorts. You can feed them snacks. You can plug new batteries into their chairs if you need to. The monkeys know all sorts of tricks. And Jeffrey goes around there to say, "Oh, could you help my friend Alan with a monkey?" And she says, "Ah, not happening, mate." Like she does like the plumber breathing, where like a waiting list's too long. You're not going to be able to do that.
The parts are going to take months to come in.
You're not going to get it. And then a monkey, if they're not already trained, then it's really difficult. I'm going to be far too busy. But then Jeffrey sort of solves it all by saying, "What if I already had a monkey which inexplicably is super clever and is really well trained? If I were to give you that monkey, would you ask no questions and then just do a little montage of training to give it to my friend?" And she's well on board.
There's so when they take the monkey around to the house and they're all starting to get along and stuff, there's actually like a really sweet, genuinely touching moment where Ella just like hugs Alan. They're like listening to some sort of like dance, like swing dance music or something on a vinyl, and like she gives him a little kiss on the cheek, and I was like, my heart is warming right now. This is like a really touching moment. She puts on nice music and they have a lovely dance, and she's immediately right on it, isn't she? She's doing all the jobs. The nurse hates her and so buggers off and leaves him alone.
It's the little dirty little animal.
Yeah.
The score at this point is like it's like daytime soap opera.
Yeah.
Like levels of like feel good. It really doesn't feel like it is in any way a horror or a George A. Romero film.
I'd say Congo is probably more of a horror film than this.
At this point.
At this point.
Anything to say that. Anything to say that. Congo is terrifying at this point. People have been mauled and deaded.
There were hippos. Someone had their eyes pulled out already.
I'm going to
There've
do
been some bad gorillas.
a new T-shirt design. It just says Congo is a horror movie. Prove me wrong.
Prove me wrong.
Change my mind.
Yeah.
Get attacked in the street. People hate that. People hate that. You get attacked in the street. Eggs, milkshake. You get milkshakes.
Yeah. I don't mind getting a free milkshake every now and again.
Give me a milkshake for saying Congo's a horror movie. But yeah, right now it is like a Hallmark family movie, right? The only exception to that moment being that they all have really like low blow jokes at Alan's expense about being in a wheelchair. So here are some items I wrote down that characters genuinely say to paralyzed and very upset about it, might I add. He did try and kill himself, Alan, about being in a wheelchair. So when Melanie Parker first comes in, she says, "Oh, and you must be Alan." "Of course you are. You're the only one sitting down." What the fuck, Melanie?
You did say that. Just trying to break the ice.
Yeah. At another point, she tells him, I think, and then Jeffrey comes in and says, "Hey, Alan, don't get up." It's like, you're the worst mates ever. Literally, moments ago, I was trying to hang myself.
Well, you've got to make light of the situation.
Yeah, you got to make light of the situation. You got to make light of the suicide attempt. You got to go, don't do it again. Don't leave him on his own.
Yeah.
Really teasing him for it. "Oh, what's the matter, Alan? Better not watch any home movies. Don't want you to try and kill yourself again." Like, just, I've been through a serious thing, guys.
I'll put you a new watch. It's a suicide watch. So.
Oh no, Alan. But things right now are on the up, right? Because the depression beard is shaved off. Alan goes back to his studies.
Wait. The depression beard is unglued.
Yeah.
He grew it just for attention.
But he pulls that off. Marianne, the nurse, has to help with that because Ella can't shave him with a cutthroat razor, unfortunately. But
I'd be impressed by that, then.
The nurse can peel that glue off.
Yeah.
And he's gone back to his studies. He's studying law. He's going to pass the bar. And Ella goes into uni with him and actually appears to be learning law herself. She can put her hand up and answer the questions in the class.
Everyone loved that moment, didn't they? Like, he's got a bloody monkey, isn't he? Like, he's going to. To be fair, he would be a very successful lawyer because if your lawyer is a quadriplegic with a monkey, I mean, no one's going to care about the case. About look, he's definitely 100% guilty. They'll just go with whatever he says.
You could just go into courtroom. The monkey would like kick off at the defendant, and you'd be like, "As you'll know, animals have a keen sense of good and evil, Your Honour. So this man guilty."
I'd like to see a spin-off series where quadriplegic and hotshot monkey lawyer take on different cases every week.
Yeah.
Until it went bad.
And the big twist will be that it was the monkey that was doing all the thinky work the entire time. Doing all the crimes.
Framing up several people, as happens later on. But what I put on my notes here afterwards, after I made a note of that Ella was learning law, that I thought this film has some genuinely very good monkey acting in it. I think Ella is an excellent actor or actress, Monkey Boo.
Yeah.
Is it a female Boo? Is Boo a female?
I'll look that up. I'm assuming Boo is a female monkey, but I thought this was excellent monkey acting. I'm not. Can you name a monkey that you've seen doing better acting?
Shanky. What's that one you watched, Ben? The baboon. A shanker. A shanty.
Shaq was a pretty good monkey actor, but I also felt like Shaqma, they just riled the monkey up.
Yeah.
Because it was constantly going like.
But also, baboons are apes, so they can't be classified in the same. That's the best ape actor.
Okay,
I'm surprised to see no other credits for Boo as an actor here. And the only bit of trivia is number 1 is a monkey. Like that is Boo's bit of trivia on IMDb.
Very good bit. What do you reckon the monkey died long after this? Did you see the cat from Pet Sematary died recently?
I know, yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but then it came back to life. I think that's part of the plot, actually.
Boo is a monkey. What else? Got a tail.
There's no other trivia, and maybe we'll have to log into IMDb and add some more. But right now, the only bit of trivia is she's a monkey.
Such a good actress that they got rid of her afterwards and just never let her work again because she was showing up the actual human actors.
Yeah. I think she's probably the best actor in this film for sure.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I mean, the budgie does quite a good. I mean, there's a bit in a minute where the budgie attacks Alan while he's sleeping. I don't know why it does this. Like, it flies over to his face and just starts trying to peck his eyes out.
Trying to peck his eyes out. Yeah, and he is not a fan of that. And Marianne has stormed off because he's been a bit rude to her.
Yeah.
And then
maybe she's shining with the parakeet, the budgie.
Yeah, she's. It's like that Game of Thrones kid, isn't it? He's like walking into its body, and she's. And the budgie tries to peck his eyes out.
How did you defend yourself against that? Because he's literally just like going...
You've got to like block it. You've got to do the reverse with your blink. You've got to catch the beak in between your eyelids. And then you've got to sort of like push it out with your... You've got to pop your eye out just a little bit to sort of flick it away. You could wrap
your tongue around it.
Yeah, loop it with your tongue.
Squeeze.
Yeah.
But he's powerless until Ella comes in and tries to save the day.
Yeah.
But then she decides to take it just a little bit further than that, doesn't she?
Yeah. We see from her point of view, Alan goes to sleep with sore eyes, and then we see from Ella's point of view, she goes into the cage, she unwraps it, reaches in with monkey hands. We see the hands go in. And we don't see it kill the budgie, but we see it the next morning. The nurse wakes up to find a dead budgie in her shoe,
in her slipper, as a message.
But we don't, But we don't know if she didn't just sort of stand on the budgie. Like, we don't know how it died, really.
It's fine in there.
Well, you see, what Ella, as we know, has been learning law has done there is she's created reasonable doubt.
Yeah.
What court in the land would convict her? Hang on. So I put it to you, Madam Marianne, that you put your foot into the slipper and crushed your budgie that was just in there. Is there any proof of that? Do I see monkey bite marks? Do you see them? I rest my case. No further questions.
The nanny goes bye. She takes the dead canary.
She takes the bird's body away. Can't prove that Ella killed it, so then she leaves, which prompts Mom to come back, right?
Yeah.
So is it around about now that we start to understand that it's not just Ella is doing things on his behalf, that there's some sort of connection between...
There is some type of connection, I guess, because I think, doesn't Alan mention, like, I know that Ella killed the bird, because he can, like, see... He senses what's
like a projection. Like, he can see through Ella's eyes, and it's almost like the things he wants. So if he gets really angry and really like full of rage, when he wants something to happen, it controls Ella in some way.
It's a bit convoluted. At the same time, it's sort of triggering his rage, the part of his sort of primal brain as well. And at one point, he sort of develops fangs for some reason.
he gets kind of.
I thought that I honestly had no. When that first happened, I was a bit like, "What? What happened to his teeth?" Like, I was well confused for a few minutes.
So he's getting monkey rages, and she is having little FPS adventures, going through and doing his bidding if he gets annoyed with someone.
Here's the thing: she doesn't seem to. Well, obviously we'll get into other things she does, but she doesn't seem to kill people like in a way you'd expect a killer monkey to kill people. She's very sneaky.
Well, she uses like Alan's knowledge, doesn't she, to like because he knows that there's a wood cabin that's wood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she knows that birds are weak against being put in slippers.
Yeah, exactly.
weakness,
And the monkeys don't know that. Only Alan would know that.
Yeah.
So then, obviously, it's revealed even more that Stanley Tucci is noshing off with Linda.
Yeah.
He's having a lovely romantic getaway in a cabin.
How does he know that that's where they go? It's something to do with.
He calls up the doctor, and then they're like, "Oh, the doctor's on holiday. You can get him at this number," and he knows the number because that's his cabin number.
That's his girlfriend. That's his girlfriend's cabin's number. That's right.
Feeling as a quadriplegic monkey, like monkey man. Imagine the feeling of going like, "Where's my doctor? Oh, he's cocking off with your X-Men." We'll be fuming.
We'd all grow bloody fangs at that point. Yeah, we'd all get fangs at that point.
Especially if you had a monkey with a psychic connection to you, you'd go mad.
Yeah.
You'd go absolutely nanas.
Yeah.
And he does. So I guess there's a sideline here in that old mate at the lab, his friend there, he's experimenting on more monkeys, but it doesn't work on any of the others. And his boss, Burbage, my notes here just says Burbage, SOB, has been snooping around, and he knows that something's awry, and he wants hands on this monkey that's going along. Nothing comes of that though, so we don't.
I found that a bit of a sort of a strange sort of side story that we probably didn't need. All that extra bits.
Literally nothing happens, does it?
Yeah. There's even like there's protesters and stuff. I guess they just you top that up to sort of set design. I guess. There are two protesters that are like spray painting his office, and the guy comes back and goes, "Hey, yous, get out of here!" And they go, "Oh, leg it," and they just run off.
Leg it, yeah.
Like,
it was like a 40-year-old man.
So let's see if I've got the timeline of this right. So he finds out that Stanley Tucci is Tucci his girlfriend in the cabin. He goes to sleep
in a terrible rage.
He has it's the easiest way to fall asleep. If you're really angry,
literally, touches the pillow.
And then he dreams of Thingy going to the cabin to burn it down. And then at this point, he says the monkey got to go. That's when his friend takes the monkey and then tries to shine with her. Right? Is that?
Yeah, he's gonna take her back, doesn't he? But yeah, you're right. So we see the scene where literally Stanley Tucci and Linda are cocking off, and the monkey sneaks in and gets under the bed, and you see little monkey hands striking a match. And I guess the house is soaked in petrol because it goes.
Yeah, it's like, but he said only I would have known that
house was soaked in petrol.
Yeah, was so flammable.
Yeah,
and he comes down in the morning, and Alan's mum has just heard on the phone that something's happened, and as he's coming down the stairs, she's like, "Oh, Alan, there's terrible news," and he very suspiciously goes, "Linda and Doctor whatever his name is burned alive in a fire, and they're dead." I knew it.
She says that's a good guess.
I knew it, and he just goes, "What?"
Yeah, but then he puts it all together immediately as well. It's like, being with the monkey's affecting me. I'm getting terrible monkey rages, and she is acting out my anger and rage. There must be some kind of psychic connection. Oh well, this monkey better go. No time to test this wild theory. So you're right.
To be fair, his mum completely, understandably, is like, you've gone mental.
Yeah, can't it just go back to when you were really miserable and had a depression beard? Because now this is properly mental.
I've still got the depression beard in the bin. We'll glue it back on.
So Alan immediately works it all out. Jeff goes and takes Ella away for a little while to run some tests.
Yeah, Jeff. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. Jeff. I've written it on my notes here.
Jeffrey.
And then meanwhile, Alan decides to take a bit of his life back, free of monkey rage. He nips on round to what's the monkey trainer lady's name?
Melanie.
Melanie Parker.
Yeah.
He goes, all right, no legs.
She literally probably does. She comes round, but this time he's not just there for a comedy stylings to cheer him up. He's there for a little bit more because they've had they've been building kind of a relationship, haven't they? I think they've been fishing together at this point, maybe.
Yeah, and then he goes to a different kind of fishing. You could say.
He does.
Genuine question.
Yeah.
And forgive my ignorance, and I don't want to offend anybody who may be paraplegic or anything like that, but does the knob still work?
I believe it's an automatic response. I'll go ask a professional.
You'll test it out tonight.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm glad it does. That's great news, but I just wasn't sure because you never know.
You don't know. You don't know these things unless you're in a situation where.
I think when you're quadriplegic and just getting an erection, like, just against your will. Well, not against your will, but at a really inconvenient time, and just be like, nothing you could do to cover it.
Getting a stiffy.
Just getting a stiffy, just like anywhere. Just not being able to cover it, just be like, there it is. Deal with that.
Being a 14-year-old kid again.
Can't do anything about that, sorry. But yeah, so she at first goes to pull away when he tries to initiate a kiss, but then she basically pulls away, pauses, and then just undresses immediately. It's like, so it appears to the casual viewer that she wasn't mulling over whether this was a relationship she wanted to get into, more that she was doing some like logistical planning. Well, we are in the training room we use for training monkeys with disabilities, so I can probably use this handlebar at the top of the... And that's exactly what she does. So there's there's some sex in the monkey training.
Yeah, you got to make sure you got to plan it out properly. This kind of thing.
Have I misremembered this? Are there like caged monkeys that are at a house for training, literally watching on as they?
Yeah, they all sing that song in the jungle, the mighty jungle. It's like that scene from Ace Ventura. Yeah.
So it's all going well. So then they're hanging out together, and then there's like a weird, awkward thing where they go back to Alan's house and his mom's there. And it's like, oh, where were you? Stayed out all last night. And then Alan's like, oh, just leave it, Parker. Like, I don't want any bullshit. And she's like, I don't want any bullshit either. And then gives him a big old snog in front of his mom.
Yeah.
And then she goes, oh. No, she goes, oh, what's this? Getting on with your life in front of you. Yeah.
I wanted him to be miserable, my quadriplegic son.
I've got the beard back out and everything.
The ice bricks in a backpack.
So
to weigh it down.
So Melanie goes home. She's got some work to do, and Alan goes inside to try and explain it all to his mom again about the rages and the monkey and everything like that. Meanwhile,
when he was making sweet love to Melanie Parker, did he get a? Oh yeah, go on then.
Did he get the fangs? Meanwhile, Jeff has dosed himself up on brain juice and has just collapsed in his office surrounded by monkeys, right? And Ella has escaped.
Yeah.
With like lights everywhere.
But then back at home, Alan is talking to his mom and saying, "Oh, it's all about this." And then all of a sudden, he starts getting a bit miffed at the slightest thing. Like his mom says, "She giving him a bath or something? Like something's happening." Yeah. And like she like says something wrong, and he gets angry and is like, "Oh no, oh watch out, because I'm getting angry. That must mean that monkey's about."
That monkey's about. Yeah, the worst excuse ever.
Yeah. As soon as
it's a monkey. He's in a
if that monkey's in 100-meter radius, I'm going to be tetchy as all hell. So
human.
And literally it goes back and forth really quickly. It's like, oh, you're only staying here because you've got no one and you're a rotten old dried up old crone. You're trying to ruin my life. And it's like, I'm sorry, it's the monkey. Like you just need to go. The monkey's driving me mad, so just leave. And then she says, are you sure you're not a bit disturbed about this monkey? And he goes, oh, I hate you. I hate
you, Mum. Oh, give me back my Xbox, you fucking bitch.
So
she does what we all. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, she does what we all do in that situation when your son is blaming a monkey for his rage. You have a bath, nice bubble bath.
have a nice bubble bath to calm down because it doesn't run in the family. You can't all go straight to sleep when you're angry. So
I'm so angry. My heart rate's right up, and I'm tired. Good night.
But she, as you say, Luke, she goes for a lovely, a lovely bath, and Ella sneaked into the house, and she goes for the quintessential way to murder anyone in a bath. Right? You wang an electronic device in.
What is it? Toaster?
It's a radio? It's a radio, I think. It's the
radio? I thought it was a hairdryer.
Toast.
Next to the bath. Happened to be next to the bath.
That's it. That has surely gone. The instance of that type of death has surely gone down quite a lot now, because no one really has a plugged-in radio by the bath anymore, do they?
We have fuses as well. Like, did they not have fuses back then? Because like now, like it would just trip off. Like we wouldn't. Maybe you get hurt. I don't know. Yeah.
Wouldn't send a pure current of electricity through. I don't know. Never
Yeah.
Don't test it, Luke, whatever you.
Yeah, just prove the point. There's Luke in his bath. Look, and I'll wang this toaster in. The breakers will go. I'm perfectly safe. Yeah. You turn to a skeleton like Marv.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mother has been electrocuted several times because basically she gets electrocuted. The power goes off. Then Jeff comes and they try to put the power back on, only for Mother to thrash around in the bath for a couple more seconds, and then the breakers to go out again. So after they electrocute Mother about 3-4 times, the power stays on for a bit. Again, Jeff admits what's been happening, and he sort of says, "Look, I've been injecting Ella with brain juice this whole time, and that's probably why some things aren't quite right, and you've got a psychic connection." And of course, what's happened there is he's told Allan a bit of bad news that he's been lying to him, and the monkey's been 100 meters. So what happens? He gets a terrible rage, doesn't he? And he kicks off at Jeff, and he gets furious with him. And then Ella comes in, and she attacks him with a razor, the razor that they used to shave off his beard earlier in the movie.
Now she's like a mugger from the late 70s.
With a straight razor.
Cutthroat razor. Hey, you want a piece of this?
I'm not sure I followed it here, and I don't remember now because it's been a couple of weeks. Does Jeff get killed here?
Yeah, so Jeff brings a syringe of whatever you use to put down smart monkeys, and Ella outsmarts him. Somehow she gets it off him, and then she injects him with the back. Yeah,
and he collapses.
Yeah.
So she just cuts him with the razor and then injects him with monkey poison.
It's weird. It's one of those. It's like kind of not a nice death because it's not sudden. Like he knows he's been done, and he's already sort of realised that, and he starts to sort of fade away. But it's Mrs. Parker turns up, and she's trying to save the day. I can't remember what she does exactly, but did she get pushed over? She hits her head on a rock or something?
Does she get coat-angered? Because I've written down here in my notes that now 2 weeks later make no sense. Coat-anger attack. Jeff is poisoned. Yeah, so my notes read here: Jeff poisoned, phone trapped because I know Allan gets wrapped up in the phone cable.
Yeah,
and and can't escape. And then after he almost escapes from that, Ella takes his battery out of his chair, so he is trapped.
Yeah.
And then I've written whatever it takes, fuckface, because I think that's what Allan says to Ella. He's come up with a plan. He's being quite nice to her, and he's being quite nice to her, and he gets to put the music on that she was dancing to earlier, and she comes and gives him a hug, and then
what does he say to her as well? He says, "You slime."
Yeah, it says you slime. I think this is after she goes mad and attacks Melanie with a coat hanger. He gets one of his terrible rages and he starts on Ella and says, "You slime, I'll rip your eyes out." And then Ella lunges at him and he bites her like a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, bites her like a dog and shakes her back and forth. You know,
he does the toy tango for a bit, sort of shaking with a fake thing. Even though Ella's murdered 5 people by this point, I'm still like, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? Biting her neck. Bite.
Give it a chance. It was a lovely monkey that's been injected with brain juice.
Yeah, it's not her fault.
Biting her neck. Oh, shit, guys, just before we get to the final point, I didn't make a note of this. How foolish. At some point, as the relationship with Melanie and Alan kicks off, they nip to see another doctor, don't they, after the death of Thingy.
About to say that. They get a second opinion, and they're like, there might be an occasion where when you got hit by the car, it just so happened that at the same time as getting hit by the car, you were made a quadriplegic by something else, not by the accident.
Yeah, it's like, it could be that, like, when the Maverick surgeon fixed your spine, he set it to paralyzed and not paralyzed, but
there's a little switch.
His girlfriend.
There's every chance that if you can prove, because I think at one of the points he moves his leg involuntarily, and if the doctor says, if you can move yourself under your own willpower, then there's a chance I can unparalyze you, but I won't check unless you can move on your own first.
Control Alt Delete.
And then, yeah, Task Manager, bring that up. Paralyzed. It's using all my memory. Turn that off. But that's what happens in that last section. So when Ella is hanging around Melanie Parker with the coat hanger, he uses his energy to leap forward and move on under his own free will and bite that monkey to death.
Okay.
So that is proof that he can be unparalyzed. And then we see him having that operation to unparalyze him.
Yeah.
And this is the jump scare we mentioned at the top.
It comes out of nowhere. It comes absolutely out of nowhere.
This is incredible.
Yeah.
This was unbelievable. This literally made me go, whoa!
I literally audibly shouted. Is this the best jump scare in any movie ever? Can you name one that got you more?
I think it might be because, jump scares usually happen at a moment when something scary is obviously going to happen, or there's tension, or the music's ramping up, or something like that.
Yeah.
This happens so far out of left field that, like,
it's gone back to like Hallmark mode as well, like the music and stuff.
Back to Hallmark mode. This is the finale. This is the happy ending.
Yeah.
And suddenly we get essentially a chest burster, but from the back, monkey screaming, covered in goo, horrible. Fuck. I was not pleased at this particular moment.
But it turned out to be a dream, and we get like a Christmas miracle. We finish on a Christmas miracle in July, whenever it is. Like he can walk again. It's a bit far fetched potentially.
So he's unparalyzed. I mean, his mom is dead, but other than that,
and his cabin's on fire. If it was his friend,
that's Linda's.
Gone.
Oh right, yeah.
But he's got a new girlfriend now that isn't a wrong un. So
yeah, and she's probably like a bit better for him. She wouldn't just go mugging him off for Stanley Tucci.
Yeah. Well, he's on fire.
There we go.
Yeah, he's dead. Okay, so trivia. I thought I'd go for something slightly different. There was a poem for the trailer of the film.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say like the first part of each line, and then you have to guess what the last word of each rhyme is. So for example,
this is brilliant.
So number one. Once there was a man whose prison was a chair. The man had a monkey. They made the strangest
pair.
Yeah, correct. Okay. The man was prisoner. The monkey held the key. No matter how he tried, the man couldn't
break free.
Ben?
Yeah, it's got to be in there, yeah.
Incorrect. Flee. The man couldn't flee.
Flee.
Locked in his prison, terrified and frail, the monkey kept gaining power, keeping him in
jail.
Yeah, correct. You're quite good at this. The man tried to keep the monkey from his brain, but every move he made became the monkey's
game.
What did I say?
Yeah, I like it. I like it because Andy says it and then Ben says it just like a fraction of a second later. So it's like you came up with the idea at the same time.
That's the satellite.
I'm going to say that. Just about to say that.
I'm going to say that, you idiot. You bloody idiot.
It's the satellite delay. Ben is a few miles further away than I am.
That's true. The monkey, last one. The monkey ruled the man. It climbed inside his head. And now, as fate will have it, one of them is
dead.
That's too easy. Too easy.
I read that, but at the same time, that poem was on the poster. That's a spoiler.
Yeah, one of them is dead. Well, I mean, you know,
you don't know which.
Yeah, you don't know which. Yeah.
It's a spoiler. I wanted them both to live.
So.
Calm down, Ben. Maybe that monkey's too close.
Yeah, that monkey.
Get a bit of rage then.
Jeez, chill.
That monkey's an 100-mile radius. I'm fuming and my teeth are sharp and I want to kill my mum.
Yeah, you're gonna rage yourself to sleep in a sec. Lying down.
Look at him. I'm lying down on my front.
Rage
I'm
chilling. Yeah. So we need to rate the film. How were we feeling about it?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was pretty good. It was unique. It was strange. It wasn't particularly horrific, but it was. You know, I was still interested to see how it panned out. I'll probably go as far as to give it a B-.
Jesus. Okay. B- for Ben.
Minus.
Andy?
Yeah, objectively, I guess it's a bad film, but I do kind of like it. I think I'm going to give it... Yeah, I think it's a fun movie. It's a good monkey horror movie. I am going to give this a C for capuchin, which is a type of monkey.
Okay.
I've been blinded by how long ago I watched it. Is that the reason?
Maybe. So B for baboon, C for capuchin. I'm going to go with...
A for ape. He's going to give it an A, isn't he?
Oh, man, I don't know now. Well, I was going to give it a... Go on.
I think how much fun I've had recording this podcast has made me remember the film differently to how I actually should remember it.
I just had to Google it. I can't find any monkeys that start with D.
How dare you give it a D, Luke Condor? How dare you?
Cat people
D
Luke
plus.
Condor's going to give
D plus, though.
How dare you give it a D? D plus.
It's not a great film. Like it's all right. I think it's quite an easy watch. I just think it I don't know. It just gets a bit boring about halfway through. It gets boring for a little bit, and I think it starts the plot becomes very contrived when he starts growing teeth and the shining stuff starts to happen.
Oh, that was the best bit, Luke. That was the.
Well, now that we say it 2 weeks later, it does sound great, but I don't think it was great at the time. Okay, I still can't find a.
I'm looking as well. I can't find any apes that begin with D.
Darwin, the ape from something. There was definitely a character called Darwin.
Yeah.
The ape something.
There we go. So
D for orangutan.
Yeah, the orangutan. Silent D.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called in France? Durangutan.
Probably.
I mean that's like a orange sauce sort of dessert, but
like duck d'orange.
Duck d'orange, yeah. Duck d'orange tongue. Okay, so what are we doing now? That's it, right? We're done.
Yeah. What's next? Oh, I guess just to close off, I guess maybe one for the future. See what people think. Our friends over at the Valkyries did like a 24-hour horror stream, right? The other week.
Yeah. They did it. It was for charity as well, which obviously is
there is money for Mind, I think.
It's good for Mind, yes. So it's as good a reason as any to do one. So maybe we do something for charity. Maybe we do something for ourselves because we're so selfish. But either or, I think the next time all three of us can get into a room together, not in a dodgy way, we will try and do the same. I mean, I'm terrible at binge watching stuff, so
yeah.
How do you guys feel about it?
I'd be totally up for it as long as I'm allowed naps, like a couple of naps.
So as long as one of us stays awake at all times, like taking watches.
Yeah,
we could do. That might be against the rules, but we'll have to find out.
No, okay. Let's
one constant.
I'd say we'd have to go it all out. We'd have to stay awake for the entire thing. I don't know if I've ever stayed up for 24 hours.
Oh, in that case, Luke, it's a rite of passage. We have to do it.
Angry sometimes that I just have to nap.
Oh no!
I'm gonna be looking at you about 18 hours in. You're gonna have sharp teeth, and you're going.
It's that monkey. Yeah, maybe we could mix it up a little bit though. Like if we're going to be tired just passively watching, maybe we'll throw a game in there, in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. 24 hours. 24 hours is a long time. Like,
It's
even when Valkyrie
movies.
was doing this and I kept seeing them on Twitter showing which film they were watching next, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like the concept of it is almost baffling to me. Like I reckon I've watched 2 films back to back before, and I've gone, I've got to do something else. Do you know what I mean?
I reckon the key is
Yeah,
that we start early in one morning, because then you've only got to make it through the night. So I reckon if we start about like 7 or 8 in the morning that we're doing it, and then you're just going to make it through to that time, then you can crash. Versus doing like 5 in the afternoon to 5 the next day afternoon.
If we do it, we need to like, if we're gonna do it, like we're not gonna do it yet, but we need to make it interactive in some way, like involving, you know, if we do some live streams or else involving the group.
Keep it going on the group, yeah. I think it'd be kind of like just like binge watching a show, but they won't have like cliffhangers and stuff, so you won't have that thing that's sort of keeping you going. And we could do like a franchise, I guess, or something. That might get a bit much.
Yeah, we'll try and put together. How many films would you need?
I think 11, 10 or 11 or something. 12.
10, 11.
Yeah, 12.
You could do you do like a horror boogeyman. You could do a Freddy. You could do a Jason. You could do a Mike Myers. You could do
if we did the games as well, we might only need to watch 10 films. We maybe get away with that if we did some games as well, but we'll put 7 out. But I'm happy to host because I know Andy's going to be in Bristol at some point.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We'll just teleport you down here, Luke.
That's easy enough. Yeah,
that's easy enough. Get the old fly teleportation machine. Don't let a fly get in as well.
Imagine the rages you'll get with one of them in you and an ape nearby.
And half fly, and you have to keep your knob in a jar.
This sounds good. This sounds fun. I do worry that I'm a big sleeper. I'm not gonna lie.
I think if one of us needs to go, right, I need to go and have a bit of kip, then fine.
I'll never get up again. Like I'll sleep for 24 hours. That'll be my record.
That's fine. Luke's 24-hour sleeping challenge.
Yeah.
What I'll do though is if you fall asleep, I'll just get on the biggest screen as possible. The Monkey Shines jump scare over and over again until you wake up.
Yeah, just get it built into your head that if you fall asleep, that is going to happen. Monkey's going to explode out of your back.
Yeah, I like that.
We'll plan it. It might be. I was just saying, might not be able to do it yet, but to coincide with the 100th episode, it would be good to do that. But it's probably going to be later than that, so we'll start planning it.
Yeah. I guess see if anyone got any ideas, send them on in, right?
Yeah,
definitely.
Cool. Okay. So I think that's about it for today then. This show is brought to you by Hawk and Cleaver. Head over to hawkandcleaver.com and you can buy a Horror Hangout t-shirt as modelled here by the very sexual and sensual Andy Conduit Turner. Look at that handsome devil. Become a patron over at patreon.com/Hawk and Cleaver. Thanks to Kovac Cowman for our theme music. Thanks to Acast for hosting the show. Thanks to the listeners. If you enjoyed the show, please consider giving us a rating and review in iTunes. And thanks to my co-host Ben for being a right or a dude.
Thanks, Luke.
And thanks to Mr. Conduit Turner. Thank you again.
Thanks, guys.
Pleasure, guys.
Right.
Always. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.